Hey y'all, this is your K-pop auntie Carly, and you're gonna have to check out the Patreon link for. I just did a reaction to the Studio Choom 50 million views, and it got blocked. I kind of had a sneaking suspicion it would because Studio Choom content tends to happen. I have other stuff up on Patreon, including on that free link. The link to the free stuff down in that description there, from like Hyunjin's behind the scenes stuff with Studio Choom that got blocked. So yeah, if you want to see the interview with them for the 50 million views, it's up over on Patreon on the public portion, and you might as well. Like I said, that's a direct link to the public portion page. I changed the link so you can kind of just peruse what else is up there for the having. Gives you an idea of what's inside as well. But I am going to do a two-parter today on the Zach Sang Show. I'm not gonna stand here. I stand. I'm not gonna stand here for 43 minutes straight. I'm sorry. I'm gonna, especially since I paused to do stuff and commentate and all that good stuff, because I talk, and I'm happy today because I finished my editing job early, so I am taking the rest of the day to celebrate by watching videos because I'm happy. This is me happy. Two-parter coming in. Anyways, where's my volume at? Let's start it right about there. And I'm going to assume this is in English, but I'm going to leave the captions on in English for your the international folks. I know it does help out some.
Human, thanks for clicking or tapping on our conversation with Stray Kids. I have a crazy glare in my glasses today, but that is not going to bring me down. No, no, no. We have a lot to discuss with Stray Kids, including an entire Christmas album. Hello. Mm-hmm. Plus, they released another album a couple months ago. And yeah, I miss them.
I'm going to turn it up further.
So much. Please leave your honest feedback in the comment section below. Hit like on our video. Share our channel with those you care about. And
there we go.
Subscribe.
Good. All right. I know this one is a few weeks old, and I'm just now getting to it because y'all let me know that it exists. I'm going to be getting to more than this. There's a Young Hollywood one that you guys said I missed, so I'll check that one out today as well. I have the time since I finished early.
Hi, beautiful human. I'm Zach, and I'm here with Stray Kids.
We got a audio. Hi, Sungmin. Only 5 of them.
Good. It's been a long time since I've heard
What's
that.
with the tinny sound in the audio?
Yeah, I mean, we would have been much more happier if we could actually have this, in person in your studio. Because last I remember, it was just such a great time.
Yeah, I remember.
We missed the place.
I don't remember. I haven't seen the whole interview, but I do know, like, from the guides and stuff, they did another interview with him. I'll eventually get to that one as well. Eventually.
We're here for you whenever you come back and whenever you can come back. I mean, you guys were such a joy, and you still are a joy. And one, like, I'm very extraordinarily jealous of your cardigan. Like,
your cardigan?
Sweaters, and I've been like rocking a lot of needles cardigans recently, and that is a gorgeous piece. Ooh.
We'll see if I can send it to you.
We'll see if I can send
it. The Sisterhood of the Traveling Cardigan. I think that would, it'd be a nice story.
Never watched those movies or read those books.
We have a lot to dive in here. Pants. Hi, Felix. By the way, how's your?
Hi.
You have an amazing accent. I remember your accent like you were speaking this morning. So,
really? Oh man, I'm glad that you remembered. So it's been like a year since we've done.
It's been more than a year.
Yeah, it's been much longer than a year.
Like 2 years.
2 years. So yeah.
Yeah, his accent is
it's an honor to have you all.
It's stronger than Chan's. I'm assuming that it's because Chan has been in Korea for so much longer than Felix has after his growing up days in Australia.
Truly, what is time? Like, do you guys have moments where you have nothing going on? I mean, obviously the pandemic happened, so like, everybody had some sort of freedom, I think, but you guys did a lot, like an exceptional amount. And even now, I mean, we have a whole Christmas body of work to dive into. You're coming off of a major album. So, like, do you guys have free time?
Right.
Wow. We get it, like Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes we'd have a day.
Look at extreme hesitation. Like we get that. Sometimes we have free time.
with like just no schedule, and or if it's not that, we would have like free time in between schedules. But yeah, like you said earlier, somehow we're still alive, and
Somehow we're still
during those
alive.
break times, we each have our own ways of spending the
Yeah.
time to recover. So yeah, if we do give you a quick recap, for me, in my free time, I just trying to sleep as much as I can.
Sleep, nice,
And,
well
what
done.
about you? Huh? What do you do on a free day?
Watching like stuffs,
Watching videos.
videos. Okay. Doing nothing.
Doing nothing, I can imagine.
Yeah. What about you, Champion?
I worked out very hard.
Yeah.
Working
yeah,
out.
works out.
Oh,
I've been watching Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix?
Yeah.
what do you
Netflix.
watch, Felix?
I watch. I watch.
I love that high pitch. Like it feels like that laugh, that high pitched laugh, is his laugh that he can't help but let out. You all have those laughs that take yourself by surprise when you let them out. It kind of feels like that's his "I've taken myself by surprise" laugh.
And I started watching a drama called Suits.
Suits.
Oh,
Yeah.
Suits.
The American classic that gave birth to Meghan Markle. Duh.
So yeah, it's
Oh,
so
God.
fun. I just keep watching it whenever I have time. So yeah,
Nice,
it's
nice.
fun watching. What is it?
I usually take vocal lessons.
Oh
Vocal
yeah. Yeah.
My
Matt
husband's
is
sinuses
good
were
for
a bit
that.
dry this morning.
Yeah,
That's the kind of stuff you
looking to
text when you're
grow and
married.
Challenge yourself, get better. That's sick. I mean, you all also made a lot of music, and you have an exceptionally large hand in the creative process of what you all do. Is that like fair to say? As I did a bunch of, I mean, I know you guys, but I also did a whole additional dive into the most recent stuff. I mean, you guys have a writing credit like on every song, so
Everything,
you
yeah.
are creatively doing a lot. I'm assuming often, yes.
Yeah. Well, ever since pre-debut,
Pre-debut?
we have been trying our best to really, work on our own music and really, creating our own music because we feel like it's really important. We're going to be, a group that does music, that performs on stage, that really, tries to entertain people that's in front of us. We believe that we should be the ones who are responsible for the music that we perform because, it's like how do I say it? It's like, I mean, it has to be ours in order for it to feel more genuine, if you know what I mean.
Okay, yeah,
On
get it.
stage, like if we want to express a message, if we wrote the lyrics and the feelings to the song, that expression might, be a bit more genuine, and so we think that's really
Totally get it.
important, especially when we're
Yeah.
making music. So that's why we.
No, that's a good point. When they're like writing the songs and you got it, bud? I switched the levels around on them because and he's exploring his new yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I can imagine that you connect way more to lyrics that you have personally written than were given to you by somebody else and said, I think this will sound good for you. Yeah.
Trying our best to keep on making music, and we are still making music.
When you're creating a body of work, are you trying to tell one story, like with noisy, no easy? What's the right way to say it?
Oh, you can say noisy. It's
Noisy.
fine. Whatever you're comfortable with.
It's great. It's really, really creative. Who comes up with that title?
I think.
Wait, who came up?
I think it was Champion.
Yeah,
I think it was Champion's idea. Yeah, we had like an album title.
Changbin did the wordplay on No Easy and Noisy. So I know from watching the survival show over on Patreon, he's the one that came up with putting the H in front of elevator for Hellevator as well. So I don't feel like he speaks a lot of English in these shows, but he definitely obviously has good enough of a grasp on English, like a really good grasp on English to the point where he can realize like puns in English. So
meeting with each other, like thinking about ideas for the thing. But I think Changbin was the one who was like, "Oh, this is so like Shipjiana, this is very not easy." And then it was like, "Oh, what if we, use the word no easy and make it noisy? They both sound, similar." And then that's how we came up with title for the album.
Such a great
So
idea.
it's a good title.
Lyricist,
Yeah,
y'all.
Thank you for shouting sick time. Sick time. Very good.
Thank you, Chandler.
Smart man.
Smart man,
Well,
smart
when
man.
You guys are like starting a body of work, starting an album. Do you try to figure out one
Trying to get
story
the
tell,
volume
or
right
do you
because-
just, like, how do you attack it? Like, do you see an album as one story and like songs as chapters, or do you see each song as like its own thing, and then you figure out what the overall message is?
Oh, that's a good question. Say, I'm trying to figure out the sound because their audio is coming across louder than his, and I don't want to blow my eardrums or your guys' eardrums out.
Well, I'm pretty sure you know, because you know, you've been into us and you've been like discovering what we've done. But I guess starting from our debut, we did have like an album series, you know, with like its own story base. Yeah,
Okay.
ever since our first full album, that's when we really just started putting in whatever we want, whatever we write, whatever we want to just tell. Every song's different. Everything's really
Okay,
we
so
want.
if I don't know if y'all caught the question was basically, do you build your albums around a theme? Like BTS is really heavy themed albums, like in general, and they go through a list and all of that's, yeah, they're the extremely themed albums. And he's saying, yeah, and well, ever since our first album, so let's see, we started from our debut.
Its own story base. Yeah, ever since our first full album, that's when we really just started putting in whatever we want, whatever we write.
Okay, so they did have a bit of a story when they started in. He's saying, and when they started in, they were trying to tell a story with their albums. But then the first full album that they came in with, they're just like songs. Here's our, yeah.
Right, whatever we want to just tell. Every song's different. Everything's really has its own character. And we've really been, you know, just doing that, making the music that's just really different, just putting it into the album, especially the full albums. And yeah, but if there's like a concept to an album that we have to, you know, keep, then I guess we could write music, you know, in order, like according to that concept. So I guess it's just different. But yeah.
I say saying it's different per album. Some albums have concepts to them and some don't. So, there.
Why? We'll get back to Noisy in a second, but why a Christmas album? Why'd you want?
Why?
I mean,
Christmas album?
why not?
Why not?
Why not?
You're not wrong, but like, by the way, Christmas Evil is hands down the weirdest, most unique Christmas song I've ever heard.
It's awesome.
Like,
I love that song.
way.
That's a good way to put it.
We've done it.
Actually, a
We've
good
done
way
it.
to put it.
I mean, that's what
Crazy
we wanted.
song.
So if you felt like that, I'm
So
really,
the-
really happy. We did want to try and be different and make a different Christmas type song. So yeah, that's what we try to best to be as weird as possible. So thanks, Zach.
As
By the way,
weird as
maybe weird's the wrong
possible.
word, but it's like also honest, because like the holidays are stressful. Like they're not a great time.
Mhm.
One of the lyrics, loosely, translated, it's getting colder. I'm burning my anxiety, not firewood. I mean, like, truly, like honestly.
Yeah, that definitely got me when I listened to that first one. I was like, dude, they're being a bunch of Grinches for Christmas Evil, but at the same time, they're celebrating Christmas and during the song and the song is so fun and the MV is fun and it's like kind of Grinchy, kind of really fun. And yeah, that's
Honestly,
two sides
it's
of
purest
Christmas.
form. Like the holidays are anxiety.
incoming.
ridden. Like right,
Yeah,
now,
right.
my palms.
That's yeah. So that's how we came up with the title. Christmas is evil sometimes. I mean, it might
Yeah.
be joy for others, but if you think about it realistically, it can be kind of tough on us sometimes. Like even in the
Christmas
lyrics
can
it
be
says,
evil.
snow is beautiful, yet when it falls on the ground, it's like
Yeah.
mud.
True.
So yeah, that's all we wanted to put into the song. So thanks for realizing that. Thank you very much.
But where does that come from? Who goes like, let's do?
I guess in the
not
next
an
commercial, I actually have to
anti-Christmas
respond to
song,
my
but
husband.
It is kind of like, it's not cheer, it's honesty. So like, how do you guys come up with that concept?
Now I remember this. We were
Right.
in our dorms and we were like, all right, what should we write this time? And
Nah,
we were writing a Christmas song. What should we do? And then I remember these two were like, we have to make a Christmas song that's Stray Kids style. That's
Yeah,
something
yeah,
that's
yeah.
different. We need to
It's
do something
definitely Stray
different.
Kids
I'm like,
style.
okay, that's something that like. What should we talk about? And we were like, what should we talk about? And then I think Changmin was like, well, I mean, Christmas isn't always the best for some people.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes the holidays can be very difficult, and sometimes it's not the best. So that's what we went with.
Oh, that's. I feel like Changbin. Yeah, his lyric delivery, especially in Christmas Evil, was on the more grouchy side as well. And yeah, that's definitely something Stray Kids brings is the honest part of kind of the flip side to the good stuff.
I think it's pretty genius, to be honest with you.
Ah, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
24 to 25.
hmm
One of the lyrics Lucy translates to the snowstorm that always fell. I'll shake off all the tiring days I had this year now. Lean on me today. It's kind of like more of a love song, right? It's like you and somebody else, like going from Christmas Eve to Christmas Day.
Yeah. I guess that's kind of the image that I was going for with like the whole I guess lovey-dovey romantic vibe. But it's
Romantic vibe.
I mean, because if the title is Christmas Evil and it's something very spicy,
Yeah.
I mean, we do have to put in some warm milk and cookies into the album too. So
I like his description there. It's like if you have a spicy and Christmas Evil, we have to put some more milk and cookies in there too. Nice. Nice.
24 to 25, to really just give more of a real Christmas vibe. And I guess the overall message for the song was because there's a lot of people who have basically had a very stressful, I mean, not stressful, but like a tiring 2021. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, it's all good. I'm here to, listen to all your thoughts, and yeah, I'm here to shake it all off. So let's have a good Christmas. Is what 2025 is about.
But again, like another song that's like rooted in holiday honesty, when I think a lot of holiday songs are just totally imagination. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
not many holiday songs are actually rooted in any sort of like what we're all feeling and going through. It's more about what they want you to feel as opposed to what's actually happening.
No, that's super true. Like almost all Christmas songs. I mean, you have obviously the religiously based Christmas songs, actually about Christ being born. But yeah, a lot of the Christmas songs are, very optimistic, very the like fulfillment of everything everybody wishes out of the Christmas spirit, and as opposed to like the reality of what Christmas is these days.
Yeah, I get that too.
It's really nice. I mean, why did Domino find its place, and how did it find its place on there?
Good question.
Domino.
It's a Christmas album, and Domino found its way on there at the English translation.
the English version.
International.
Yeah.
For international fans.
Good. Production.
Yeah. It was okay. Did you listen to it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Duh.
They just wanted something for the international fans. That's how it made it in.
Oh, the English lyrics.
You got three of you right on this one. Felix, you show up on this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Helped out with the English lyrics too.
Yeah, that's true. I think even like
Changbin.
when our No Easy album came out, a lot of people definitely enjoyed the Thunderous song, but also the fact that just listening to Domino. Everyone kept on listening to Domino, and everyone was
Yeah,
really
it
hyped
was-
about it. So I think
I really like
it was
Domino.
a really good idea that everyone thought, why don't we make an English version of Domino? And then everyone was even more hyped about it. So I think that was a really good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're saying he's on the credits for helping with the translation for the English version of Domino, and Domino, the English version is like, I think that is a really good instance of being able to translate into English. I have heard other of their songs translated into English, and Domino is definitely the one that keeps the flavor of the original the best.
Make it English version. Yeah.
To reach more people. Throw it on the Christmas album, baby.
Throw it on there.
Yeah. It's like another gift.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Thank
Special
you,
one.
Chan.
So how often are you guys creating? Or like do you jot down inspiration all the time? Like do you make time to go to the studio? Like what is your creative flow like?
Oh wow.
Wow.
Right?
Well,
Broad question.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you know, but like we basically have no time. Like we're
Yeah.
really busy like 24/7. But I think it's in those break times that we try to fit in. Just trying to make music. Sometimes we make
So they're
music
working
when
during their
schedules
breaks.
end, but it's different for everyone. I know Han writes a lot of music. When he just wants to write music, he just writes music. Me and Chubby on the other hand, we're kind of like think we're the type of people to kind of not schedule, but like just when inspiration comes, then we like make music. I think that's what me and Chung been. And yeah, but like even now we're still making music.
Okay, that's an interesting distinction he put out there. That it's yeah, not necessarily that they schedule it, but that they have moments more than anything. Like an inspiration will hit them, like so they'll see something and it'll get them thinking. I'm guessing, or it basically experiencing something. I'll make them kind of turn a light bulb on and go, hey, maybe this, and they'll kind of carve out some time to work on something, as opposed to Han is just constantly just constantly writing stuff, just constantly. It's just part of it's like it's not necessarily that I'm sure he has inspiration hit him, but he's just constantly writing, just constantly doing lyrics. And I'm sure if there's poets in the crowd, kind of know what that's like, where it's just you're just constantly writing little things down, or yeah, it's okay.
We're still thinking about what we want to write about. We're still, jotting down notes.
Yeah.
And yeah.
What does like the success of God's Menu, which is like the most unique title right out the gate, but like does the success of that song at least sonically set any tone for how you guys create moving forward, or do you learn anything from making that record that
Yeah,
you
it's
carry
incoming.
with you?
Okay. And I also responded to my husband, which means you probably hear a chime
Well, God's Menu
again
did.
sometime.
Go on.
Yeah, it did make a really big impact.
Yeah, it did.
And
It's
it
what
was
got me
for
into
our
Stray Kids.
full first album as well. But and I think it's our
Oh, that
very
was their first full
music
album?
video that hit.
Is that what he said?
But and I think it's our very first music video that hit.
Hang on.
But and it was for our full first album as well.
Okay, I didn't
But,
realize that God's Menu was
and I think
considered
it's our
their
very
first full menu
music video that hit
album.
200 million views. Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it hit 200 million views. So that was yeah. God's Menu was really crazy.
일단 그걸 만들기 전에는 저희도 저희 음악에 대한 확신을 잘 못 가졌던 것 같아요.
That's true.
신메뉴를 만들고 난 이후에 정말 저희가 이제 하는 게 맞다는 확신을 이제 저희한테도
예.
받았고 확실히 그 이후로 자신감이 되게 많이 생긴 것 같아요. 저희 음악 방향성이나
I know Chan loves it when people
Yeah.
꿈이나
speak for a long time and he has to remember it and translate.
What Han just said was like before God's Mini, we really didn't have. We weren't that I guess. Like we didn't really know what our music was. Like still, like we would make our own music, but like we were like, is this the right music for Stray Kids? This is what we thought. But
Okay.
after releasing God's Menu, that's when we really realized, okay, so this is what Stray Kids is. This is what we are really most comfortable and most confident in doing. So that's the impact that God's Menu had. Another funny story is
Interesting. Yeah, that because look, going back through their albums, like they do. Excuse you. They do have like a certain sounds that like you're like, oh man, this is definitely a Stray Kids sound. Like, and it's interesting to hear them say that they don't really feel like they like found a home in their music until God's Menu. That they don't really feel like okay, this is like what we want to do, because like I can hear I don't know, they did experiment a lot though. So yeah. Who's snoring? I think that's Little Miss. Little Miss is snoring so loud right now. Where was I? Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that it wasn't until God's Menu that they really put their thumb on things and said, yeah, this is us. This is our sound.
I don't know if you know, but like before we released God's Menu, we actually had another song that was meant to become the title. But we all together as a group, we were like, we don't think that song is meant to be. We think God's Menu is what's right.
call, y'all.
And that's when I guess our big boss in company, so Mr. JYP, he was like, all right,
Boss.
if the kids are confident with this, we are going with this. And that's how we did like a really
Big
out of
turnover.
nowhere,
Yeah.
big turnover, like the right at the end, and then that's how we just changed everything.
I
Yeah.
think-
Yeah, I had heard them say that before somewhere else, that it was like a matter of months before the release of the album. They're like, we think we want to completely change the title track. And JYP was like, okay. Awesome.
That is huge, and also a little scary because one now the pressure's on you. So if it doesn't go well, it's
Right.
I mean, it would be your fault technically.
Yeah.
And then two, if it works to your benefit and it actually happens, which it did, like, do you feel like you gain trust and you gain confidence?
I'd hope so.
I mean, we're not doing this.
Yeah, I would have to think that would make them gain trust in themselves and confidence in themselves to say, we want something completely different. We just have a feeling about this one. And then it just hit hard. It hit, I mean, God's Menu hit so hard. The market hit the market so hard. So you'd have to think that gave them, confidence that, yeah, like we made the right call there.
By ourselves, of course, we have the company to also help us out, right? So we are very confident when we make our own opinions and we give our opinions to the company and they listen to it and then we figure things out. But there have been a lot of times where we would really express our opinions to the company. Like last year's Mama, for example, we were really
So last year's
debating
Mama?
on which song to perform. But we had the idea of really performing Victory Song. And
All right, I didn't know that they were even in control of what songs to perform on the music performances for award shows. I guess maybe in the back of my head, I kind of thought that the award shows themselves kind of like requested certain songs be done. But apparently Stray Kids themselves were like, this is what we want to do. All right.
That actually, had a really big impact as well. But so our opinions, I think, really, really matter. And I mean, our big boss said it himself. He doesn't really touch us, but
I like that he calls him the big boss, our big boss. Oh, and I love how his accent comes out really hard when there's an R on the last part of a word. Meta.
He does, try to help out when he can, and we, ask him for help as well. But as much as he, let us be us, we try our best to take responsibility for our own actions and our opinions as well. So I guess a really big thank you to boss for letting us be what we are.
Yeah.
Very mature.
Very very cool. Very cool. Both for JYP and for Chan to give JYP props of being. Yeah, just having that more ability to be who they are and giving them that permission to basically do what they want. That is fantastic. I mean, it's working out.
And do you feel like that's like a blessing? Do you acknowledge that as being rare, in at least in music in general? By the way.
Yeah, it's not like it's just a K-pop thing, y'all. That's in the U.S. music industry. I mean, yeah, we get there's a lot of hype about these independent rappers who become big and everything, but by and large in the music industry in general in the US, like, people don't write their own songs. There are standout songwriter singers, but a lot of people have songs written for them or are produced by a label and have songs given to them. It's not just K-pop, and not at all.
I think it is really rich. For someone who's the boss of a big company to let his artist do whatever he wants, like, you don't really get that sometimes, but I guess he's done that with us, so we're really, really thankful. And like you said, we do feel really, really blessed to be able to have that.
But also, like, you guys do it all. Like, you it's not all you, but creatively in the studio, you are. You guys are the fuel. It's really, really cool. And by the way, the music is amazing. Like, the production is incredibly unique. The stories you're telling are ones I've never heard before, and I listen to a lot of music.
Right.
So, like, I'm very interested in, like, what goes on in your brains.
What goes on in your brains?
Well,
a lot of people are really interested in what goes on in their brains.
Our brain cells are all shared.
Shared brain cells.
The same brain cell. We are all a mess. We are very chaotic.
Yeah.
And
chaotic.
Every schedule is just really loud and really, really fun.
Everyone's different.
Yeah. And we have that in the studio as well. We have that in the practice rooms, and it's usually it's different how everyone carries it. Sometimes it'd be Changbin who'd be like all hyper and then we'd be all hyper. Sometimes it's this guy who's hyper and we'd get hyper. And it's just really
Yeah, because you usually don't think of Sungmin as the hyper guy. It is going to be somebody like Changbin, like he pointed out, but I have seen some clips of Sungmin just being ridiculous. So, yeah.
I was thinking, like since everyone's different, I was thinking of the scene from Simpsons. How there's like a monkey clapping.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I was thinking
yeah.
that I think that would be me. So like, everyone would be different.
Yeah, everyone's
I thought
has
it would
their-
be pretty funny.
But do you feel like all your songs end up representing all the different shades of the members that make up the group?
Yes. Wow. Wow. Yeah, it does.
Actually does.
Yeah, because I mean, we are all chaotic, but in the end, we're all human. So we do have our own emotions. We do have our own feelings. So every song, yeah, it actually does have its own color. Like for example,
I could tell that Chan really liked that question by the response to it. Like, oh, people had kind of like nobody's asked that before, but yeah, you're right.
if you think about, I guess, a song called "Sorry I Love You" by Changbin. It is a different vibe. It's a very different song that we released, but it's also something something that we can do and something that we feel as well. So yeah, we have a lot of like ballady tracks. We have a lot of energetic tracks. We have really simple tracks. Like it's all different, but in the end, it all identifies us.
I love the chance that you guys gave on cheese wrapping part.
Oh,
Sungmin just spoke, everyone.
I mean, I wanted him to rap. And
He's
he
a great
did,
rapper.
He did a good job.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He said he loved that he got a chance to rap in cheese. Very nice. And I do like that. That's probably part of why Chan liked that question, because, he pointed out that, that every, like the Sorry I Love You song is a very, it's that slower, very melodic, very, it's not a beat at all, and everybody sees Changbin as this dark rapper, with that aggressiveness and everything. He's like, no, that's like, he wrote that song, and I'm guessing he arranged it and everything as well, and like that's Changbin too, very
Hello,
cool.
beautiful human. I had to hit pause real quick to talk to you about deals. We all love a great deal, don't
Deals,
we?
all right. That is a fantastic time to take a break. All right, because I'm past the 30-minute mark. I need to move around a bit and take care of a couple of chores, and I will be back for part 2. So, and I'll skip through the deals. Don't worry. Yeah, I'll post this right away, which means I'll put together a quick thumbnail, post it. And next one will be incoming shortly in roughly 35 minutes. No, it'll be more than 35 minutes, but you know what I mean.